Hey everyone, welcome back to She Bars Podcast. Today's guest is Kelly Brakenhoff. Hi Kelly,
Hi, how are you?
welcome to my podcast.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming on. So Kelly is an author and she's American Sign Language interpreter. That's pretty cool. So when did you first realize you wanted to be an author?
That has been what I wanted to do since I was very, very young. My sister and I used to make homemade comic books at home. She would draw the pictures and I would write the words. And that didn't really pan out. So I became a sign language interpreter. And I've been doing that for about 30 years. But I got serious about, I always wanted to write. My actual college degree is in English literature. And so I took a lot of creative writing courses in college and always wanted to do that. But of course, you have to pay the rent, that kind of thing. So I got a job as a sign language interpreter because I have known sign language since I was in high school. And I got to be pretty good at it and I had some really good mentors. So that's what my career has been. And then I got serious about becoming an author. Finally, in 2014, I did NaNoWriMo. So my first mystery, Cassandra Sato mystery, was my first NaNoWriMo in 2014, which seems like a really long time ago. But
Wow. I'm doing mine this year. My first one this year. Yeah, next month.
Oh, good for you. I love Nano. I'm going to be doing it this year too.
Oh, I'm gonna follow you on there then. I have no friends on there because I just started. So
it's good if you can find a little group of support people. Some there's Facebook groups and stuff that you can join, and they kind of all cheer you on and do writing together and stuff. It helps a lot. That's the best thing about Nano, I think, is just all the knowing that there's hundreds of thousands of people in the world doing the same thing you are for a month. It's very cool.
Yeah, that is awesome. So what does your family think about your writing? Do they support it or are they
funny. I have 4 grown kids and some grandkids, and I think that at first they humored me for a while, and then they were like, "Oh wow, you're doing this. That's cool." But now I think I'm working on my 7th book right now, so they're kind of like over it. Like they don't. It's like, oh yeah, we're doing another book. Okay, I guess it's just what I do now.
They're just over it. They're like, okay, mom's an author.
Yeah, they're not really impressed. It's okay.
Do any of them know sign language? Like your grandkids or your kids? Do any of them know it?
Yeah. So when they were little, I taught them all like baby signs because before kids can talk, they can sign. And a lot of times, you don't start talking until you're 2 or 3. So we got tired of crying children pointing at things and we didn't know what they wanted. So I taught all my kids sign language when they were babies. And then some of them they know some basic things that they use when they see some of my deaf friends. They can kind of stumble through. They can finger spell, which I think you said that you can finger spell. So my kids are good finger spellers.
Yeah, I can do that. Yeah. So what inspired you to write your Duke of the Deaf Dog series?
So after I wrote my mysteries and I realized I could actually write books, I had to kind of think of what do I want to do with the rest of my life? And I love the Duke the Deaf Dog books because it takes my interpreting career. I love hanging around with my deaf friends. I love American Sign Language. I think everyone should know American Sign Language so that if you have a coworker or someone who's deaf, you can talk to them and give access to people. So I got that on one hand and then my writing on the other hand, and I put them together and it's these books. So the first book is called Nevermind, and it's the story of a friend of mine, a coworker of mine is a mom, and she had 4 boys, and the youngest was deaf. And sometimes the other people in the family would he'd ask like, what did you say? And they'd go, never mind. So she saw that her son was really sad every time somebody said that. And so she made a rule in her house, never mind is not allowed.
Oh.
So I had heard her tell that story several times, and I thought that just touched me because, you know, moms, you don't want to see your kids left out. And I don't think anybody likes to be left out, right? Whether you can't hear something, or maybe you just didn't understand it, or, you know, for all kinds of reasons, people who are really shy, people who have autism, like there's people who get left out every single day, and it's just not right. And so I wrote the book, and I just kind of took her story and made it into these Duke the deaf dog, and people tell him never mind, and he does not like it.
That's cute. So it's kid friendly, like kids can read it and learn sign language from it too.
Right. So they're picture books. So they're geared for kids age 3 to 9. And in the books, they have little pictures of one of my deaf friends who's a ASL teacher, and she's signing some of the signs like friend or line or mother and father. And so there's pictures on the pages. And so the students can, or the kids can learn some signs while they're reading the book. And then afterwards, I have a YouTube channel. And so I have Amy, my friend, my deaf friend, she is on the YouTube channel teaching the signs. And then she also signs the whole story and stuff, so that someone who buys the book can also watch all the videos and learn how to do all the signs.
Wow. I love that idea. I really do.
It's fun. It's great. Yeah. So yeah, we have 2 books, and the third one's going to come out next month. The second one's called Farts Make Noise. It doesn't matter if you can hear or not. You still have to have good manners, right?
Right. That's true. So can you give our listeners like a brief summary of the novels, of the Cassandra and the Deaf Dog one?
Sure. Well, the deaf dog ones, I'll just finish up. Each one is kind of a different experience that a deaf child has growing up. And so the first one, like I said, is that, you know, no one likes to be told never mind. The second one is that even if you can't hear, you still have to learn basic social skills. And then the third one is called My Dog, Koa, and it's about his best friend. And it just kind of talks about how families are different. Your house might be different, but your family still loves you no matter what. So that's those books. And then the Cassandra Sato mysteries, those are like cozy mysteries or academic mysteries. And the main character, Cassandra Sato, is a college administrator. She moves from her home in Hawaii to Nebraska.
Oh, wow. That's a big change.
Big change, exactly. But she wants to get her dream job at this college in Nebraska. And so she moves here. And a couple months after she moves, a student dies. And so, of course, she's pulled into this whole thing of trying to figure out what happened to this student. And so there's 3 books out and 2 short stories. And then I'm working on the 4th book. And so in each one, it's all on a college campus in Nebraska with this kind of fish out of water Cassandra trying to figure out how many coats do you wear in Nebraska, and hats and boots and snow and scraping off her windshield and all the fun things that you can have in Nebraska. She's trying to figure all that stuff out. And at the same time, dead bodies, mayhem, murders, all that kind of stuff.
Oh, wow. That sounds interesting. I'm going to check that out.
They're kind of silly. They're kind of fun. I mean, it's a cozy, so there's no like serial killers. There's no blood everywhere. It's pretty tame, but it's also kind of funny. She's got a bunch of funny friends. And the students, of course, you can imagine, the students do crazy things, and I write about those too.
That's awesome. So who are a few of your favorite authors, and have any of them inspired any of your novels?
Yeah, gosh, you know, I really like a wide variety. I've been in a book club for over 20 years, and we read just about anything you can imagine. So I read a really wide variety of things, but my favorite authors, I like Janet Ivanovich and Sue Grafton, because they have like long series. And Janet, I like the way her humor and the silliness of all the Stephanie Plum novels. And then, I don't know, I like just classic Agatha Christie, you know, The Locked Room
Oh,
things, all that. Yeah, everything. I also love like the Lord of the Rings and Harry Potter.
that's awesome. So, within your books that you've written, what was the hardest scene to write, and why was it the hardest scene?
Great question. The one that comes to mind the most is in the first book, I had Cassandra has a stalker. And so I was trying to come up with like scary things that this stalker had done. And that's a really weird thing to research.
Oh, yeah.
In Google, like stalker, blah, blah, blah. Like you get all kinds of really disturbing images and stories and stuff popping up. And so I kind of like read some of the stories, but I didn't really want to look too close because it was really, really like, yeah, people do some really crazy things. And so I kind of picked through there, and there was one person a guy had been upset with his girlfriend because I think they broke up. And so he took her cat and put it in the oven.
No.
And turned the oven on, like real life. Someone did this.
No.
And so that was like how he answered this girl. He like left a cat in her oven. Just disgusting. So I was like, okay, well, that's about I can't go any further than that. Like I can't stomach anything worse than that. So I used that in my book, or I used that idea in my book. But then afterwards, like when how like when you look online and stuff after you've searched something, like other things pop up. So like I got all these advertisements for like knives and like self-defense equipment and security equipment. I mean, like it was a little scary what was in my feed after that.
Wow. Wow.
Like, okay, no more.
You're done.
Yeah.
Wow. I've never looked up that, but I have interviewed a woman that was stalked by her ex-boyfriend, and he ended up stabbing her like 33 times. She survived though, but still, like the stories, I'm not gonna look it up. I'm too scared.
Yeah, I feel like that writers should have a special button that we hit that says like, okay, FBI, I'm just looking this up for a book. I don't really mean anything by it. Or, people out there, Facebook or whoever's like stalking my search history. Google, I guess, is stalking my search history. I hope they're not like taking notes of the stuff that I look up because, writers, we look up all kinds of weird stuff.
Oh yeah. So what advice would you give to help others who want to pursue a writing career?
I think what you're doing is the best thing is to talk to a bunch of writers, and then NaNoWriMo. I'm like, I could be an advertisement for NaNoWriMo because I've done, I've actually done NaNoWriMo like 6 times, but I've won it, I think 4 times. So each of my books, I started as a NaNoWriMo project. And I mean, it's a good way because it just makes you like put a whole bunch of words on the page in a short amount of time, and then you can go back and revise it. So I encourage anybody who's thinking about writing a book to look up NaNoWriMo.
Okay. Because I tried it once before, like a year ago, and then before that 2 years ago, and I'm just like, like I'm trying to figure out the website and how it can help me. Like, so when you do that, it does your word count for you and all that stuff for you. And does it help you with ideas, like how to move along in your story, or do I have to go to YouTube and look up videos?
Yeah, the cool thing is you when you type in your book and you promise that you want to join Nano, then they you give them your email address, and they send you like either every day or every week, they send you like little pep talks with all kinds of like famous authors giving advice and all kinds of resources, and it's all free, and they just kind of spoon it out a little bit at a time. And I found a lot of it helpful, even if you're just kind of starting to figure out like what to read, what to look up next. They just give you little bits at a time.
Oh, okay. That's nice. I'm gonna go back through it again.
Go ahead and just sign up, like write, your project, and commit to doing it, and then you'll get involved in all their emails and all that kind of stuff. Totally worth it.
All right. Thank you so much, Kelly, for coming on my podcast today.
Thank you for having me, and good luck in November.
Thank you so much. You have a great day.
Thanks, you too.
Bye.
Bye.
Hey, everyone. I want to thank you all so much for listening to my interview with Kelly. If you would like to go on her website and look up her books, then I will link it to this episode. It is already linked to the episode, to this interview. But if you want to know further information about Kelly or how to purchase her books, they are all on her website. It's Kelly Brakenhoff, Brakenhoff.com. And just go check out her book, see what she has going on. I hope you all have a great day. Thank you all so much for listening to my podcast and for supporting me. I really appreciate it. I've been getting so much great feedback from my podcast, and I hope you all have a great day and make great choices. Bye.